Here's something strange. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You look at your hands, and they're covered in fur. Not gloves, not clothes, your body, your arms, your face, your back, your entire body. You would probably panic. You'd stand in front of the mirror and think, something is very wrong. And that reaction is strange. Because if you think about it, humans are weird. Most mammals have fur. Cats, dogs, bears, wolves, monkeys, even animals that live in hot places usually keep something. But humans? We looked at millions of years of mammal design and somehow ended up looking like this. Mostly smooth, tiny hairs, random hair in random places, and somehow we decided this was normal. But imagine explaining humans to an alien. This animal survives by removing most of its body protection. That sounds like a terrible idea. Fur is useful. It protects skin, blocks sunlight, keeps warmth, helps against scratches, sometimes even helps camouflage. So why would an animal lose it? That sounds less like evolution and more like forgetting equipment. And for a long time, people had strange ideas. Maybe humans lost fur because of fire. Maybe because of clothing. Maybe because we became smarter. But those explanations have a problem. Humans probably started losing body hair long before clothes, long before civilization, long before anyone sat down and thought, I want less hair. Which means whatever happened wasn't fashion. It solved something. And that's where this gets weird. Because humans didn't become less hairy to survive cold. Humans may have become less hairy because they became too good at moving. Which sounds ridiculous, until you imagine the world before humans. No houses, no shoes, no roads, no supermarkets. If you wanted food, you moved every day. And something strange happens when an animal moves a lot. Heat. Imagine wearing a giant winter coat and then trying to jog. Now imagine doing that under the African sun for hours. Suddenly, fur doesn't feel like protection anymore. It starts feeling expensive. Because your body has a problem. Heat kills. And unlike many animals, humans developed something weird. Sweat. Not a little. A ridiculous amount. Humans are strangely sweaty animals. And sweating only works well if heat escapes. Which raises a weird possibility. What if humans didn't lose fur because fur was bad? What if we traded fur for air conditioning? And suddenly, being naked starts sounding less stupid. That sounds strange, because usually when animals evolve, they gain things. Sharper teeth, better camouflage, more protection. Humans seem to have done the opposite. Imagine evolution holding two options. Option 1, keep fur. Option 2, remove protection. That sounds like an easy choice, until you realize fur and movement don't always like each other. Think about dogs. Dogs cool themselves mostly by panting, tongue out, breathing faster. Now think about humans. We do something weird. We leak. Your body starts pushing water through millions of tiny holes, which sounds inefficient, until you realize it works absurdly well, especially if your skin isn't covered. And this leads to one of my favorite human facts. Humans are strangely good at not stopping. Not fast, not strong, not explosive, just annoying. Imagine racing a horse. Bad idea. The horse wins. But imagine this. You start walking, then jogging, then slowing, then continuing. The horse rests. You continue. Hours pass. You continue. And suddenly, the ridiculous hairless animal is still moving. This sounds fake, but humans are surprisingly good at long-distance movement. Not because our muscles are incredible, because our cooling system is weird, which creates a strange image. Ancient humans, under brutal heat, moving slowly, while other animals overheat faster. Not sprinting, not chasing dramatically, just refusing to stop. And there's an idea scientists discuss called persistence hunting. The idea sounds almost stupid. Find an animal, move, keep moving. Eventually, heat becomes part of the hunt. Now, imagine doing that while wearing thick fur. Suddenly, hair starts becoming expensive. Not dangerous, expensive. Every extra degree matters. Every trapped bit of heat matters. And slowly, less fur starts making sense. Not because fur failed, because sweat became valuable. And things get stranger, because humans didn't only become less hairy, we became unusually sweaty. You have millions of sweat glands, way more than many mammals. Which raises a weird thought. Maybe humans didn't become naked. Maybe humans became liquid-cooled. And if that sounds ridiculous, remember something. Evolution doesn't care if something looks elegant, only if it works. Which means somewhere, very long ago, there may have been humans who survived simply because they stayed cooler. Not stronger, not smarter, cooler. And after enough generations, that tiny advantage started stacking. Until one day, humans looked in the mirror, well, not mirrors, water, and saw something strange. Less fur, more skin, more sweat. Still human, but changing. And if that was the whole story, that would already be weird enough. But then something happened that made humans even stranger. Because once humans lost fur, they accidentally created a brand new problem. Cold. Which creates a weird problem. Imagine finally solving heat. You move better, you cool better, you survive. Great. Except night exists. And night doesn't care. Because humans didn't evolve in one temperature. Days were hot, but nights could become surprisingly cold. And suddenly, the genius plan starts sounding less genius. Congratulations, you removed your built-in blanket. Now what? If you enjoyed this strange question, subscribe. Because next time, we'll look at something else that feels completely normal until we stop and ask, why?